Hey, what is going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. My name is Carlo.
I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Nick, as always.
And we're going to be, first things first, we're going to be drinking some beer. Because, you know what? We're live, we're having fun. It's the Westworld premiere. You gotta enjoy yourselves. And we went to the store earlier and we bought a few beers. We didn't know what to choose, but Nick...
we basically looked for something that had anything to do with Westworld. We found one that had a picture of robots on the can.
Looks like piss inside a beaker.
I don't know what kind of piss you have.
It's called Diesel Punk. It's not bad. Carlo opted for the Honey Amber because he picks odd things for beer, but yeah.
It's actually really good. If you never tried it, I say suggest it.
It's good. Good choice, guys.
So before we start into the review, I just gotta say this girl right next to me loves food so damn much.
Yes, I am a foodie. I love food. Who doesn't love food? Wait, what?
Oh, that's right. So we were talking earlier about how our excitement for the premiere of Westworld was kind of like rivaled by Jazz's excitement for food. And to prove this to people, we thought we would take footage of us giving you food.
You're gonna air it?
So Carlo.
Oh my god.
That is her excitement for food.
Yeah.
Oh my, you guys aired that?
And salsa.
I love salsa. I love food, and that bean rice and cheese burrito is off the chain.
We had a bet to see what she would be more excited about, either A, food, or B, the Westworld premiere. I think food took over.
Yeah, for the show, she just kind of sat down and watched. There was no smile, no excitement.
Dude, I am excited. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I waited over a year for this to come out, so I don't know about you, but I was super stoked.
I know your initial reaction was you felt disappointed.
I was disappointed with the. Okay, so going into the whole show, watching it, I wanted there to be a little bit more excitement, and you made the point that it's like a slow burn. I mean, we waited a long time for this show to come out, so I was expecting a little bit more and a little bit more of a cliffhanger at the very end of the episode.
You didn't feel there was a cliffhanger at the end?
Well, there was, and I don't want to get into it, but as far as like what actually happened in the end, it's just when I watch cliffhangers on shows that I'm really into, and don't get me wrong, I'm into Westworld, I didn't feel like there was a need for me to actually go in to watch the second episode. That hook for me, and that's how I was disappointed with it. I mean, I enjoyed the episode, don't get me wrong, it's just that hook wasn't there for me.
I see what you're saying, because at the end of the first season, they had that slow burn, and then everything came together, and it just got really exciting. The androids like came awake, and they were like shooting up the place, and you see like Shogun World, and like you think like what's gonna happen, like how are they gonna open with season 2, and then they take a step back and they're like, all right, this is what you guys essentially missed, and they are building it up again. But it was nice to lay the foundation, because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot some important details.
I guess for me it was just that's the key. Throughout the whole summer, we've been teased about this whole Shogun World. And this episode only had that one section of that, Bengal tiger or whatever it was. But even then, like, that was it. Like, I wanted to see samurais. I wanted to see this world, or at least teased about this world a little bit more than just seeing a dead tiger along a riverbank.
See, I thought they showed a little bit of restraint, because they knew that people were expecting it and waiting for it, and that's what's getting you to keep watching is, yeah, we're going to show you Shogun World, but we're not just going to give you everything you want right now.
Why
we have
not?
A story to tell. We have a number of episodes to get through. We need to build this up again. And I feel they needed to kind of reestablish a jumping timeline hook, because with the Man in Black being revealed to be William at the end of season 1, they now can't jump back and forth anymore, so now they're doing the Bernard jumping back and forth business, and you don't know what consciousness what timeline his consciousness is in. They had a lot of work to do this episode, and that's why it was a longer episode, I felt. And to me, the cliffhanger of looked like all of the hosts were dead at the end, and Bernard saying that he killed them. There's so many new mysteries about Bernard in particular that I definitely want to come back, and I definitely want to find out what happened in those 2 weeks.
So with each recap, we're going to go over the timeline. So for as of right now, they're going back and forth between immediately what happened after the androids became awake, or the robots, or whatever you want to call them, to 2 weeks past that, or 2 weeks post.
Yeah.
And they're gonna. You think the season is going to just go through that span of those 2 weeks and kind of catch you up, or?
Well, before we answer that, let's go chronologically real
Okay,
quick. Let's
right.
talk about
Let's
like
bring
the
it back.
opening scene.
Opening scene or opening credits? Because
Or
I thought
opening
it was
credits.
interesting. Well, we have the opening credits, right?
Yeah,
Why don't you play
so-
that clip?
So we got the opening credits, and did you guys notice anything new in the opening credits?
I thought it was interesting that they kept a lot of the same motif, but there's elements in there that are brand new, and I'm wondering if they're hinting at things.
So what?
I think we just missed it. Wasn't it like that brain thing? It kind of showed.
It kind of looked like the brain from when they cut open people's skulls later.
Yeah,
What's this part?
This is the eyeball.
that's been there.
For me, the part that they changed the most is more toward the end, because now they're actively showing like robot babies. And it looks like they're being like, conceived. And it's like, well, how the hell is that happening? They're robots.
Well, this part right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby. That wasn't there last season.
No, and I'm wondering, what are they hinting at here? What could this mean? Is this somebody's end game? Is once robots can conceive, then they don't need the humans to build more. They can.
Well, how is that going to work though? How is a robot going to conceive? Like, are they just going to learn how to build baby robots?
I mean, that might be as simple as that. This is all symbolic, or
Maybe that was just a symbolism for like Maeve and her daughter,
it could be.
and it was like that was like the love that kind of awoken her from her android state.
Because there was the discussion last season of who truly gained consciousness. Was it Maeve or was it Dolores? Because it looks like they both have consciousness now, but Dolores even admits that every time she thinks she's a new character, that she's broken free, it's just a new character that Ford designed for her.
I don't think Dolores actually gained consciousness. I think Maeve was the one that gained the consciousness, and let me tell you why. It's because Maeve is actually making decisions, active decisions, and adjusting to those decisions to get outside of this world. Whereas Dolores, on the other hand, is just doing what she thinks is correct of what she needs to do. She knows she's a robot. She knows she has some type of plan to get out or to conquer the world, but she's nowhere even close to where Maeve's is.
Yeah.
And it seems like her main drive right now is just, I'm going to kill everybody.
It's all revenge.
Which makes me want to call up my other favorite clip, which is the opening with the self-playing piano. Just because I love the song The Entertainer, and you even said it while watching. And the
It's your
fact
song.
that they started with the piano, and then they go into like full score as she's riding down and mowing down humans. It was a great.
You call that Piano the Entertainer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, was this part of the opening? This was like in the episode.
This is in the episode. Normally we get songs on the self-playing piano that are like renditions of modern music, but to hear like an actual piano song that is piano, and then it was cool because it kind of morphed into score for the show. So even that I felt was weirdly symbolic of like how the show is evolving. So now it's just not like cheap knockoffs. It's like, here's something that was actually made for the piano, but then it gets bigger. It expands into something that is more sweeping.
Works out.
Love it.
So, out of the whole episode, though, what's the thing that you guys would take away from it? Like, what's your favorite scene that appeared?
Besides the women being badasses, I mean, Dolores is a really good shot. Maeve is like handling her business. I don't
Maeve
know.
can
it's-
control other hosts. We
That's-
have that clip too.
That's awesome.
What'd you call it?
That is Maeve Saves the Writer.
Maeve saves a writer.
And that scene, like, you kind of get that she's the only one that can still control the hosts because of the hacking that she did last season.
So with the Maeve saves a writer, it was weird because on this one, okay, for one, the writer ticked me off. He pissed me off. And I'm gonna tell you why. He reminded me of what that other Asian dude and that other dude, the robot guy or the mechanics
Felix?
Yeah, of the last season, of just bending over, spreading their ass cheeks wide open, and saying, "Okay, Maeve, give it to me." It was one of those things where it was like, okay, this is a robot. When you still had control of it, why were you bending yourselves backwards to, I don't know, to help her?
But I mean, the engineers or the whatever they were, the mechanics, they were kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But I mean, this writer guy, he's screwed. All the robots are rising up, killing everybody. He just has to fall in line because she has all the power.
Well, he did do a good job. At least he tried. What was the line? It's like, maybe they're all dressed like humans.
Yeah, he tried to stab her in the back, but he knew that wasn't going to work.
Yeah, it was, at least that was something that he tried. You know what I mean? It, unlike other writer styles, it was like, okay, these are just stupid decisions. He knew he was shit in the shitter, so it's like, at least he tried getting himself out of it.
His character reminds me of the character in The Mummy.
Which one?
The English brother.
Oh,
He
yeah,
reminds
I
the
can see
comic
that.
relief like that. I'm like, this guy.
I think my scene was the maggot scene.
On Robert Ford.
Yep.
Just to confirm that Anthony Hopkins is definitely dead.
Hey, I asked you earlier when we were watching the clip or the show. It was like, is he dead? Like, I'm pretty sure that might be a clone or a robot.
And that was the show telling you, like, he's dead.
He's like,
Well, I think you pointed it out because this was before the kid.
This was after the kid.
Oh,
so
this was after the
if you
kid.
show the clip with the kid, it's clear that he definitely like put some of his personality, or he programmed some things to kind of keep the story going.
What'd you name the kid?
Creepy Ford child, something
This
like
one
that.
right here.
Like at least part of Ford was in this kid. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw other pieces of Ford, other places in the park, so we can keep the story going wherever possible. Like the kid was there to make sure the Man in Black knew this story is now for you. It's all about the door getting out, and the maze is over. You found the center of the maze, and even though the Man in Black kills the kid, which you thought was kind of messed up,
it's so messed up.
like there's got to be more Ford in there, and it's their way of doing it so that the character of Ford is still somewhat present, but Anthony Hopkins can be off the show.
Which, I don't know if you guys pulled this, but this is the first time that I saw the Men in Black actually have fear in his eyes when he was getting shot at. Before, he smiled about it. Like, that,
now it's
real, but when he was getting shot at, there was actual, like, terror in his eyes.
Was that the Men in Black photo?
No, we have a clip of the Man in Black putting on his hat for the first time, which is to me like a big moment for the series, for season 2 of the series, because it's like
It's
now
like
he's back, now he's ready to play.
reminding us that he he chose the dark side.
It's like he had to go patch himself up and get his real clothes back on, and now he's ready to go kill some robots.
Okay, so what's his end game though?
Well, if he's playing the game, according to what Ford said, it's to get out of the park alive now, and that's an actual challenge because the robots are killing everybody. But he could have something else in mind.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I'm like, is that the only thing?
He could have something to do with all the dead hosts at the end.
Well, back in season 1, so the whole reason why he kept going back is because he was in love with Dolores.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept coming back hoping that she'd remember him. Kept doing it, and then at the very end, before I guess he wanted to play this game, he realized that it's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So he discovered this game. He's playing the game now. But does he even know what the end game is? Because for me, like, if I don't know what the end game is, what is there to gain to play a game? Why play the game in the first place?
I think we just said that the little young Ford robot told him the end game is to get out alive.
Are you taking it like literally?
More or less. But that's why I'm saying the Man in Black might have other plans for what he wants to do before he does that.
No, I get that aspect, but what I don't get is why even start the game in the first place.
Oh, like what led him up to that decision?
Like
Ford? What motivated the Men in Black to keep going after the maze? I guess is that what you're asking?
Yeah. It's like if I don't know what I'm gonna win out of it, why play?
Well, he was heartbroken that Dolores didn't remember him. And then I think it was hinted that this maze exists.
I swear that looks like this.
Yeah, keep
I
taking
think
it.
it was like from season 1, you kind of were supposed to figure out that he didn't feel like his true self until he kind of gave into the dark side in Westworld. And that's why he kept coming back. But by the current timeline, he was feeling like this is too easy. They can't fight back. And that's why, part of why, I guess, Ford did this whole revolution and was like, this one's for you. Now they can kill you. And it could be that this is Ford's final kind of screw you to the Man in Black. It's just like, you said you wanted this. Good luck.
All right. That makes sense.
They're technically on the same page now. Because Robert Ford wanted them to have consciousness.
True, but what does consciousness mean? Because look at Bernard. He had everything explained to him, and now he seems to be dying, or his brain is melting down because there's juice coming out of his ears.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he's got to go to other robots and steal their brain juice and put it into his head.
We've only seen him take one.
I'm telling you, he is now a host zombie.
Zombie.
He takes the brain juice from other hosts and puts it into his own to keep alive.
That only happened one time.
They're setting it up. They said on the screen that he had 3 days to live. I'm wondering if does this extend it every time? Every time he gets close and he starts blacking out, he's got to get more brain juice.
He's more like a vampire at this point.
Yeah, but zombies eat brains, so I'm going with
Okay,
he's a freaking host zombie.
Fair enough.
As opposed to the new drone hosts, which are truly terrifying.
They're so creepy. Why do you make them look so creepy?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw this on the screen the first time, I'm like, that looks creepy. Like, normally when I see stuff like that, it's like, oh, that looks cool. Like, that would be dope to have. But seeing this was... I agreed. I was like, holy shit. Like, I don't know if I want to see this in real life.
Like, you just know that there's going to come an episode where the drones get infected and start fighting back, too. And I just want to see, like, swarms of these things moving all creepy, like, exorcism-like, coming after people with these blank faces.
It looks like Resident Evil type crazy zombie things. Like, I know
More host zombies!
What will be interesting...
More host zombies!
During Halloween this year, how many people are you willing to bet that's going to cosplay as the drone host?
Maybe you can cosplay like that.
I am not cosplaying like that. I'm
I think he's tall enough.
Oh.
Red Ranger.
Oh, nice.
All right, moving on. We're not talking
sorry. Okay. Well, I have a lot of questions, but I don't know if we're there yet. So let's continue on the timeline.
I think we can talk questions. I think we've talked about a lot of stuff we were going to go over.
Really? Because I really want to know if young William is going to come back. Are we done with that timeline? Where's his friend Logan? Ben Barnes? Like,
I had heard that the guy that plays young Williams was asked to come back for something this season. So I don't know if it'll be as in-depth as last season, but I think he'll make an appearance at least.
Okay.
Because they also cast somebody as the founder of the Delos Corporation.
Is that the guy in the middle of the picture with Robert Ford and Arnold? Do we ever find out who that guy was, or was
do we have that picture? That's the Arnold Ford.
That's what I forget.
Photo, I think.
That is what did you call it?
It's a photo. Arnold and Ford.
Like, I can't remember if they already went over this. Yeah, the guy in the middle.
I don't know if that's him or not, but I know that they cast somebody in the role of the Delos founder, and he's supposed to have a significant part in a couple episodes this season. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was in the flashback, so that you saw the founder of Delos with... because
how many founders does this place have?
Well, Delos is the corporation that owns it. It's not the park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the Man in Black works for the Delos Corporation, so it would make sense for the young Man in Black to talk to the
And
owner
how
of the corporation.
big is the park? Because they actually in this episode show like a larger map that we're used.
But they also talked about, because you pointed this out, that it might be an island.
I thought it was an island.
And so if it's an island, it's definitely on Earth. But we don't know for sure anything because it's still all future tech.
And I don't know my Asian dialects, but I don't know. Somewhere in Asia with that.
Because there was the Asian military that came in.
Oh, right. And then they were like, no, yeah, you're not allowed to do something.
Mm-hmm. So it has, I feel like it's somewhere off the coast of
Japan? Korea?
I was going to say Korea.
I thought it was interesting that at the end, all of the hosts were dead in this brand new ocean lake thing that appeared out of nowhere in the middle of the park. But at the beginning, Bernard washed up on shore from the real ocean. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of like...
Did he try getting out?
Well, I'm wondering if there's a channel that connects that lake to like the main ocean, and somehow Bernard like floated along that to the main ocean and came around.
He said he killed them all.
So maybe he like tried to kill himself with them, but he came back. Like there's got to be more to Bernard than we think, because he was on a 3-day counter. Then it said he was going to crash, and this is 2 weeks later, and he seems to be okay now. Aside from what looks like he's still consciousness.
Either that or he's just acting. Either that or he's just acting to...
Still part of his program.
Well, I also mentioned to Jazz, maybe it's not Bernard.
Clone of Bernard?
Maybe it's not the Bernard we know, A, or maybe B, they somehow do something truly crazy, and it's Arnold.
Oh.
So Arnold uploaded his mind to him?
Or it's just Arnold.
This whole time?
Not this whole time, but the one that washed ashore is Arnold.
So he was like time froze?
I don't know how they would do it. I'm just throwing out crazy theories, because that's what Westworld is all about.
Okay, true. Fair enough.
Well, what do you guys think? Remember, there's comments, so join us in the discussions.
And if you guys know who that middle guy is in the picture, let me know. You can school me on that.
What did we think of Maeve collecting Hector and then starting her own little quest to find her daughter?
I like them both. And Hector is hot.
Well...
Can they really be in love if she can just control him?
The thing that my question is Maeve is very strong. I guess what I'm trying to get at is what happens to what's his face, the dude,
Hector.
once she gets tired and bored with him.
Well, that's the thing. She has all of the power, and if she gets tired or bored of them, she just like take a deep nap. And then he
I don't really
collapses to the floor, and she moves on to whatever other guy she wants.
I honestly don't think they're in love.
She is like God at this park right now, because even more like none of the humans can control the host. She's the only one with any power.
Yeah, he's just a snack.
Just a snack?
Yeah, she doesn't.
Again, we're talking about food.
Sorry.
It would be interesting because you had mentioned Dolores versus Maeve. Can Maeve control Dolores?
Well, it's interesting that they're empowering like these two women, and they're kind of like doing the same thing, and yet they're going about it very different ways. Like Maeve she's awake, but she's like so different in her self-awareness compared to Dolores. And I feel like at some point you're setting up these two characters, and they're just gonna fight.
Well, motivation-wise too, because Maeve is about I want to find my daughter because I feel a connection. It's like the beginnings or stirrings of some kind of robot love.
She's like more human than what Dolores is right now.
And Dolores is all about screw the human race, screw everybody.
It's them or us.
We need to destroy everybody on the island or whatever Westworld is, and then we need to get to the outside world and kill everybody.
Yeah.
So that we can survive. I don't know how the hell that works and what she has in mind, because there's not that many hosts.
Which is you think.
Well, circling back into maybe they discovered a way to make baby clones. Again, going back into the opening scene.
See,
because that was my thought too, is because Dolores specifically says, like, I have a plan. I know everything now. So maybe she knows how to do that. What were you going to say?
Well, this is where this is going. Like, this first episode of the second season took a step back and is building that slow burn, because they laid so many little Easter eggs or eggs, whatever you want to call them, last season about someone sending off information to an outside source and
someone activating the hosts.
Exactly.
Under the code name of Arnold.
Which, okay, I guess like we find out that it is Arnold, but there's just so many other questions Arnold, that have not been answered. That
who washes up on shore at the end of the first episode.
Who I think that was like one of my theories before. Like he what do you call it? Like
survived?
No, sent his consciousness into like this
the Matrix.
Drone. Oh my god, in my mind, this show. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let me bring it back. I have questions. Lots of questions. Okay, so I hope we go back to Logan and see where he is, because last time we saw him, he was...
You were so obsessed with Logan.
He
was riding off on a horse to be
Exactly. And
tortured.
Then where's Armistice? Last time we saw her, her arm was like...
Which one was Armistice?
She's the blonde chick that was Hector's compadre that had that snake tattoo.
Yeah, whatever happened to her?
Yeah.
Well, people come and go, because there's also the female computer...
Elsie, where's she at?
Yeah.
I don't think she's dead. I think
She's supposed
just,
to come back this season.
But she
Bernard-
wasn't in this episode either.
No.
No, but the other head of security came back this episode.
Stubbs.
Stubbs came back.
Yeah. Stubbs came back. And then who is that tall guy?
We don't know who the tall guy is, I don't think.
He's like the operations guy, like corporate operations for Delos.
Yeah.
So
But I
he's
think he's a brand new
wasn't he
character.
Thor's like brother?
No, that's Stubbs. He's
Oh,
a
that's
Hemsworth.
Stubbs. Hemsworth.
He's a Hemsworth.
Oh, he's the Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's not that bad looking.
Not that bad looking. Earlier, I'm gonna put you out there. We're live. Earlier, you're like, he's an ugly Hemsworth.
No, I thought you were talking about the tall guy. I'm like, he does not look like a Hemsworth.
He's
Wow.
not that
Wow.
bad looking. Just because the camera's on, you're like, it's not that bad looking. Like,
I'm
call me.
sorry.
Just call me.
He's cute. He's cute. Okay. Well, eye candy there. All right.
Moving on.
How many worlds are we going to have this season? We have Shogun World, which they alluded to, but we haven't seen yet.
How big is this damn island?
Maybe it's multiple islands.
Possibly.
And this is just like the main island.
Because they have a lot of underground, like,
Tunnels
and
whatnot.
stuff. I want to know what the outside world looks like.
Well, I think we'll get there eventually.
I know, I'm like
but it's
jumping
sad
in.
because Maeve didn't leave, so we're not going to see it from her perspective.
I know.
And apparently, Peter Abernathy didn't leave the park.
How did he not leave? I can't remember that.
I think last time we saw him, he was leaving. So we'll get the story later. But now it's just like, damn it, the two characters that were going to leave so we could see the outside world, now we're back in the park.
Yeah, the slow burn. How many episodes?
I
10?
think 10 episodes this season. Will Teddy turn on Dolores? That's the
Teddy's
other
already
question.
dead. Ooh, bring up that picture.
Wait, there's
one?
two questions.
There's two.
Because number one is, let's talk about Teddy and
Oh,
his
yeah.
whole reluctance to go along with the killing spree.
Still
'Cause you can
conflicted.
see it on his face that Teddy is conflicted. He's not sure about this because that's kind of the way he was programmed.
Yeah,
But
the-
then there's that question of, well, if he was programmed to be that way, shouldn't he fight that programming? And maybe that's what Dolores is trying to bring out of him.
The
Well-
moral code is strong in this one.
Well, the thing is, when what was it? When Dolores was killing or about to hang the three park goers, right? Like, you
Yeah.
can see it in his emotions. Like, he was sitting on the horse. He didn't even know if it was right or wrong.
He was
but he was just
conflicted.
going through the motions just because in one end, yes, on the other end, I'm pretty sure he's more scared of Dolores than anything. It's like, if I don't go along with you, are you just going to shut me off?
Because he used to be terrified of Wyatt. And now that he knows that Wyatt is Dolores, you're just like, what is he thinking right now?
Yeah.
And then the other question is, because I was kept asking, who is this dead body they're focusing on at the end, floating in the water?
I think it's Teddy.
And Jazz is pretty sure that it's Teddy. And
Does it
looking
look
at it,
like Teddy?
there's
I feel
pieces of it that kind of look like Teddy. I don't
I know. I feel like we
I
should get
will-
like a side view of. Like,
I can't do side by
James
side, but I
Marsden.
can do that.
There, I think that's Teddy.
It kind like the more you say that it's Teddy, go back to the water picture.
I see it in the nose.
It might be Teddy, and there is a funny joke about Westworld where they say that he dies in every episode that he's in. So this would be a way to complete that joke. Is like, yep, Teddy's dead.
So in terms of timeline, though,
It's 2 weeks later.
no, yeah, I get that, but could it be that when we see the Dolores actions and all that stuff, that happened 2 weeks prior?
Correct.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So
I
definitely.
think everything is 2 weeks prior, except for Bernard on the beach with all the Delos people.
Now here's question number 2 though. So if that is Teddy and he is floating in the water, and at the very end, Bernard says, "I killed everyone," or "It was me," could Teddy be there in the water not because of Bernard, but because Dolores put him there?
Well, I was also wondering, like, they all have signals that are still registering. They look like they're dead, but what if it's all like a big trap?
Well, that's what I don't understand because there's so many other androids that got shot and are still walking around. Like, the only reason why they're dead is because their code, it's written that if something happens to them, they're supposed to die.
Yeah, like why couldn't they just be reactivated so that
Yeah.
they can kill all the Delos people? Because they know that Delos is going to send security eventually, so they had to come up with some kind of plan of like, how do we ambush them? How do we take advantage of whatever party they send?
One little plot hang up that I'm having here is, for as sophisticated this whole park is, couldn't they just have had a online kill switch that kills everyone?
No, because, all the androids, like,
Yeah.
You would think so, but somebody would have to be able to get to the control center. But they also said that Ford was shutting down so many systems that just weren't working anymore. So they might have had a kill switch and it's Ford,
Not working?
Ford broke it.
Yeah, but I think like maybe they're all Wi-Fi connected online.
Or Delos would have a backup system of just like, well, in case Ford goes crazy, here's the kill switch.
Yeah. Like, for a corporation as big as Delos that can own islands, apparently.
And has hidden facilities and is already doing secret shit all over the place.
You'd think that they'd have a fucking kill switch that would work regardless if your main headquarters on the park is shut down.
It would make sense.
Maybe they'll get to that.
Other crazy theory. Because most episodes of Westworld start with these crazy therapy sessions of Dolores and Bernard, or Dolores and Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
When does the one that starts this episode take place? Is it back to when it's Arnold? Or does this take place in that 2-week session and we're not supposed to realize that? And this is one of those points that Bernard doesn't remember yet and Dolores is messing with his head.
Oh, that's, you know what?
Because his mind is time jumping around. She could put on the dress, make him think that he's Bernard because he's having dreams about the ocean. It could be all just a big...
So how you can actually do that, if we do a little research, the glasses are different.
Because Arnold has different glasses than...
From when he was actually with... When Arnold was with Dolores doing his confessions, I think his glasses were different from when
Thinner
it was
frames.
Bernard.
But she could just grab thinner frames and put them on him to complete the deception.
Oh my gosh. My mind is about to explode.
But
With
that's
all
what it's
these
good for.
time jumps. I cannot keep track.
Well, it's funny because right before this episode came out, someone released a fan cut of season 1 Westworld, all in timeline order.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so that
I should
if you
watch
actually
that.
if you find that online, it's actually a nice way to watch because everything is not jumping back and forth. So eventually, I'm pretty sure for season 2, someone's going to do the same thing.
I feel like that takes away all the fun of the show.
But it's
something that
very helpful to watch before the season starts.
For the people who can't figure it out on their own.
It's nice to watch if, like, after you watch the season normally, you'd go back and be like, all right, what did I miss?
For the people who can't figure it out on their own.
Why the hell am I on this show?
Does anybody else have any crazy theories?
Well, my biggest theory is I think Dolores is probably in Shogun World.
Right now? Oh, you mean like when all the dead bodies are going on?
Mm-hmm.
So she's recruiting an army?
Probably. I think Dolores found a way to get there.
What is she taking Teddy to see? Is she taking him to see something like Shogun World or like a transportation to a different
Possibly.
park?
There's something Dolores knows that obviously we don't know yet.
Or could it be a birthing chamber?
Wow, you are hung up on this.
I think I like the birthing chamber idea.
Ugh.
And that ties in with the opening scene. It's like, I see us because she needs him.
to make a baby?
Yeah. Well,
To
because remember,
understand that they're
well,
creations.
well, not only that, remember, they have DNA.
They do have DNA.
Because when they opened the door, or when Bernard opened the door with, what's-her-face? What's her name?
Charlotte?
Yeah. It sensed Bernard's DNA, and obviously he's a robot. So maybe this birthing chamber requires a male and a female's
To go
DNA
inside.
to make a baby robot.
Oh.
I highly doubt it'd be that sophisticated, especially if they spend the opening credits showing machines like making eyes and brains and muscle tissue.
No, but I mean custom babies.
Custom
Just
babies?
saying, you can't go wrong with custom babies. If you want Dolores' eyes and some features of what's his face.
Oh man, they're making it so easy. You don't have to like give birth like that. You just have to like boop, boop.
It's the future.
Oh, that's so nice. No more stretch marks.
Wow. All right.
Oh.
Moving on.
Oh, this is live. I totally forgot about that.
Excellent. The point of live just dawned on Jasmine. Jazz, do you have any other theories
Oh
about
my god, no!
the episode?
I think that's it. I just have questions. I want to see where this
Do you have any
season is going
questions
to
you
take
want to throw out?
us. Besides, where the hell is everyone at? Who like?
What I don't get is, okay, so Maeve's, right? is she when we're watching her? Is she in the present or 2 weeks in the past?
I think she's still in the past.
She's in the past because everything is still happening. People are still getting gunned down.
And I'm pretty sure Maeve is the first character that goes to Shogun World. I wouldn't be surprised if they find out that her daughter moved to Shogun World, and that's why they go to Shogun World.
So where's Dolores then?
I'm not saying Dolores wouldn't go there too, but Maeve, I think, is the first character to make it there because they've released a production still of her like in.
Now,
Shogun World.
based on what we know so far, whether it's through rumors or whatever, how many episodes are we gonna have in Shogun World?
I know there's one full episode in Shogun World that I think is all subtitled, but I don't know how many
Are you
other
serious?
appearances there's going to be.
She does not like that idea because she does not want to be reading.
No, I dig the reading, but like a whole episode.
Whole episode in Shogun World. I think it's episode. No, actually, I don't know what episode it is, but I guess the producers are very excited about it.
These are really good gummy bears, by the way.
And back to eating.
They are good.
Yeah.
Are we running out of things to talk about? Is that why we're eating?
No, not necessarily. This is just really yummy.
I mean, I'm just gonna go back to the thing that you don't like the most, which is the dead Ford maggots.
Okay.
It's a cool scene. I'm sorry, that's a cool scene.
So episode 1 wasn't as exciting as we'd all hope. It is, but it did cover a lot of things that, you know.
It was exciting for theorists of all the things going on.
Well, I guess so.
I
For
mean,
those of us who can figure out these things on our own.
What are you saying?
I want to know his story. I know we talked about it earlier, but are we gonna learn more about his story?
Who's he?
In Shogun World?
Wait, which one? Who?
You were so obsessed with Shogun World.
Yes, I am.
He wants to see a samurai.
All I'm going to say is there's a chance that they revealed who that character was in season 1, and we're just forgetting, or we missed
That's
it.
true.
Actually-
If it did happen, maybe somebody will comment about it at some point in the future.
No, you just
Either
want to
ours
see
or
a geisha,
somewhere
don't
else.
you? Carla wants to see a geisha. These are really good gummy bears.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? I'm trying to think.
Overall, I liked the episode. I'm sad that this is only one of 2 episodes. That's an extended episode this season because I would like to see more long episodes.
What's the other
The
extent?
finale.
Mm,
Well, maybe that makes sense.
yeah,
There might be other
episodes.
episodes that are longer, but I know that these are the 2 longest of the season, the finale and the premiere, which makes sense. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what they're going to do for the other 9 episodes. And to see
Slow
what
burn.
crazy theories the internet comes up with that we completely missed. And
Well-
to see how many of them Jasmine reads and spoils for everybody.
That's not true. I don't necessarily. I like a lot of it. I come up on my own.
Yeah, and then you happen to read it online and they say the exact same thing, right?
It like confirms it. Yeah, it confirms my theories. I'm just saying. Last season, I watched every single episode, and I was like listening to every single line, every single like eye twitch. I was
You're listening to those eye twitches? How loud it does.
It sounded like this. I don't know.
All right, wrapping up. So we all have our theories on what's gonna happen throughout the season. We all know I want to see Shogun World. I'm not dropping that. Any final thoughts, comments?
I just want to see the Maeve and Dolores showdown. And interrupt Jazz as often as I can.
Are they gonna have a showdown though?
See, you believe my theory.
I think that's a good theory.
Thank you.
Did you read it on the internet?
I did not. Came up with it on my own.
Anyways, thanks for tuning in,
We didn't let
guys.
Jazz say her theory.
Okay.
Because Graf took my theory. That was like the only theory that was really important.
All right. What's
and he
another
took it.
theory do you have?
Well, no, the one thing that I do like is the fact that I already said this, that the females are kicking ass. And I think it's awesome. Like, you see Dolores, you see Maeve, they're both very strong women, and they're becoming self-aware, and we'll see where that goes. And Graf stole my theory, and I hope they fight, and it's a good fight. The end.
And maybe it's Arnold.
Maybe it's
We'll
Arnold.
see.
Maybe it's Arnold.
And we'll use that as our closing. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, my name is Carlo,
Jasmine.
And Nick.
and you guys know what to do. Thumbs down if you don't like it, but if you like it, hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe.
And other than
This is subscribe.
That's subscribe.
Yeah.
other than that, please leave comments, and we'll see you guys soon because we like to do this, so we want to know what you guys want to watch. You guys anything else?
That's it. Have a good night, guys.
I have something to say. Yeah, if you guys have any like theories of your own, like let us know and we just discuss it next.
Yeah, post them in the comments. We'll definitely talk.